Hello and welcome to Organ Miniatures, a series of short videos aimed at demystifying the organ. I am your host, Rob Lubinsky. Let's begin. So far in this series, all the videos have been about the behind-the-scenes working of the organ, how everything works together, and what an organist has to do to make the music that you hear. This week we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to take a focus on a specific organist who is probably well known to you, Johann Sebastian Bach. One of the most popular ways of presenting new information these days, whether in video, in a podcast, or in an article, is a top 10 list. And so I'm going to borrow that format for this video as I bring to you the top 10 things you probably didn't know about Johann Sebastian Bach. And so, in no particular order, except the order that came to me, let's get started. Johann Sebastian Bach lived from 1685 to 1750. He lived in the Baroque era of musical composition and was a contemporary of Antonio Vivaldi and George Frederick Handel. Bach was a master improviser. Now, this was a common trait for organists and other musicians in the time, but he took the skill to a whole new level. It is believed that he could improvise a fugue in 6 parts, which is just about one of the hardest things you could ever have to play, let alone come up with on the spot. Bach solidified a series of rules for part writing in music. Now, there had been plenty of guidelines that were around for writing music, but Bach took these and improved them. His contemporaries followed his lead and used the rules that he perfected. These became the standard for the composition of Western music. Bach was married twice and had 20 children. Many of his children went on to be successful musicians in their own right. Early in his career, Bach wanted to study with the renowned organist Dietrich Buxtehude, and so he decided to walk from the town that he was living in, Arnstadt, to where Buxtehude was in residence in Lübeck. This is a walk of 250 miles. I call that dedication. Bach spent time in prison. He had grown tired of the post that he was in, and so he handed in his resignation. His employer, who didn't want him to leave, promptly threw him in jail. Not sure that's the best way to keep an employee, but there you go. Bach wrote a number of concertos for the organ, all of which were based on orchestral works by other composers. Many of them were by Antonio Vivaldi. Bach once scared away a competitor. At one point, Bach arranged to have a music competition with the French virtuoso Louis Marchand. Now, Marchand had a chance to secretly listen in on one of Bach's practice sessions, and realizing that he didn't stand a chance, he fled the country. Bach composed over 1,000 pieces of music, most of which have survived through the present day. Bach's music was all but forgotten after his death. It wasn't until Felix Mendelssohn put on a performance of the St. Matthew Passion in 1829 that Bach's music was once again recognized. It was this performance that led to a revival of Bach's music, and it continues to be performed to this day. So there you have it, the top 10 things you probably didn't know about Johann Sebastian Bach. Please let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, and if you would like to see more videos in this style in the future. Please be sure to hit that like button before you go. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.